Alright, first you need to remove this bolt. It's a drain bolt. Make sure drain all the fluid out. You use a 19mm socket to remove this drain bolt. Alright, put the bolt back on. Torque it down to 6 foot-pound. You need a 10mm socket to remove these bolts. What I'm doing right now is to loosen all the bolts first before I completely take all the bolts out. Now there's 19 bolts all total together, and this CVT transmission is different. It does have a filter. Most CVT transmission don't have filter, but this one do. I left about 5 bolts holding on the pan and just let the rest of the fluid drop down. And now you know why I didn't take all the bolts out all at once. Now this right here, that's the filter, transmission filter. Basically it's a mesh screen inside there, and kind of filter out, make sure there's no large particles get inside the transmission. Use a 10mm socket to remove this. As you can see right here, this is the filter. All it is just a little mesh, a little fine screen inside there just to filter the big particles. That's the transmission pan. You can see these magnets right here. This is where it gets all the metal shaving. Now this is a new one. Now before you put it on, make sure compare the old parts to the new parts. Looks the same to me. Torque it down to about 5 foot-pound. Remove the old gasket.
It depends on the filter kit that you buy. Sometimes the kit will come with paper gasket or rubber gasket, and the previous one that I installed on my last service was paper, and the new one is rubber. Sometimes the paper gasket gets stuck onto the pan, so you need to use a razor blade and lightly scrape it off.
Then you want to clean the magnet. Now you want to make sure that the new gasket fits onto the pan. Now get a little bit of alcohol and clean the surface. Clean it up a little bit. Make sure there's no oil. Now what you want to do, put a little silicone on it so it hold the gasket in place. Don't put too much, just put a little bit.
What I do first is to install 4 bolts, one on each corner to hold up the pan. And you need to put a little bit of Loctite on all of the bolts. And then put the rest of the bolt, but just hand tight them.
When you tighten the bolt, tighten crisscross pattern. Start from the middle of the oil pan, which is this, cross from that, and then cross from that, and from that. Now you want to torque these bolts down to 7 foot-pound. You don't want to over torquing it because this gasket right here is rubber, so if you tighten it real tight, the gasket gonna start splitting out, start coming out, then it won't seal right. So make sure you torque it down 7 foot-pound. Now you add transmission fluid right here. What you do, you just stick your flathead screwdriver in there and kind of pry it out a little bit. But this one already taken out, so it holds about 5 quarts. I use a little small funnel. This way I use NISSAN CVT fluid. Now put the cap back on. Now you need to make sure, start up the car and put it in gears. Make sure it's working. Everything should smoothly accordingly. You put it in reverse, drive, low gear. Alright, looking good. No leak. No leak on this side either. Make sure there's no leak right here, the drain bolt. So it looks good. Everything looks good. Alright. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.